Would you rather be uninsured than have a high deductible with your health insurance? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me. I can't answer that question for you. But I do want to take a minute and let you know that if you are in that camp, if you are thinking that way, if you don't believe that a high deductible is worth anything at all to you, I want to give you a few things to keep in mind that might maybe influence your decision next time around when you're looking to purchase health insurance. Before you go ahead and light the torches and pull out the pitchforks, I want you to just give me a few minutes here. I'm going to try and, again, go through a couple points that might make you realize the value that a high deductible health insurance plan might have for you. If it is, again, the only thing that you can't afford. I deal with people on a daily basis who come to the realization that they cannot afford most health insurance plans. Now, the word most is very important in that sentence because while, yes, they cannot afford 95% of the plans that are going to be available to them, however, there are a few select plans that will work and fit their budget. However, they don't always necessarily meet their benefit requirements or what they assume or think they should have. That is really going to be a problem for most people because they are only prepared to purchase something that is of an adequate benefit level to them. To draw a comparison to that, I would love to have a cable package that included every movie and sports channel known to man. Now, I can't afford that. Does that mean I'm not going to have TV service in my house? It's possible. And actually, I don't have TV service in my house, so it's not really the best comparison for me, but you get the idea. The thing to keep in mind is, though, is that the biggest risk that you run not having cable in your house is not being able to follow your local sports teams. You can't watch your favorite baseball team or your basketball team. Or you're not going to be able to keep up on the latest reality TV fodder. Whatever it is, those are the biggest things that are going to be detracted from your life by not having cable. With health insurance, just because you're not buying a plan that isn't exactly to your specifications doesn't mean that you should go without. Just an example, a 30-year-old male in good health could pay as little as $56 to $75 a month for either a $5,000 deductible plan or a $3,000 deductible plan. While that is a significant monthly bill, if you put that in perspective, that is probably slightly more expensive than a meal for two at Outback Steakhouse. Having a high deductible is really better than nothing. The reason that you're going to want to protect yourself with the highest deductible that you can afford is because an emergency medical procedure could be far more devastating to you financially. If there could be considered a routine emergency procedure, an appendectomy would generally fall into that category. Something like that would cost you in excess of $30,000 for that total procedure. Now, if you have health insurance and you receive treatment from an in-network facility, and all facilities are treated as in-network for emergency services, but your health insurance will pay the hospital $25,000, $27,000 to cover that procedure, only leaving you to cover the remaining $3,000 or $5,000, depending what deductible you selected. Well, you're saying to yourself, I don't have $5,000 to walk in with my emergency appendectomy and give to them. Well, I'm going to tell you that that's okay because you don't need to walk in with a briefcase full of money. They're going to perform the procedure for you, and then you're going to receive the bills later. The hospital and the facility, since they've already received a nice chunk of change, be it $25,000, $27,000, a majority of that bill is already paid for. They're sitting easy. They feel good. They know that they've recovered more than they would have normally had you not come in without insurance. Chances are they're going to, if again you're in that scenario where you can't cover that deductible outright, they will work with you in negotiating possible prompt pay discounts, some type of payment plan, or they might even actually just negotiate the total amount of money that you owe them. If you're considering going without nothing, allow me to paint a picture of what nothing would look like. Let's take that same appendectomy and let's say 30 grand is the price tag for that. You go into the hospital for that emergency procedure without insurance. Now that $25,000, $27,000 that your insurance policy just forked over to that hospital, that's no longer there. You're going to be responsible for the entire $30,000, in which case the hospital and facility is going to be, I'm going to say, slightly more motivated to collect that money or as much as possible from you in that scenario. Let's say you decide to skip out on the check for this procedure. They can just write it off, can't they? I mean, hundreds of thousands of people receive free treatment in this country every day, right? Why shouldn't you be one of them? Now, this is a topic for another day and could be an entire article in its own. Just let me say that free or charity care is one of the first actions in a series of events that continues the cost shifting of our health insurance in this country, and is one of the main contributing factors to why you could not afford a lower deductible or the specific health plan that you may have wanted in the first place. So sure, I mean, of course the health insurance plan that we all might want might be out of our reach. That doesn't mean that you should ignore every health insurance plan after that. If you approach buying coverage with the right mindset, you're going to receive a level of protection that is invaluable to you when you actually need it. So there you have it, a few tips of why you might want to consider purchasing a higher deductible in regards to your health insurance as opposed to going uninsured. Do you think you can afford individual health insurance? Are you going to look at higher deductibles with a more open mind? So of course there is a blog post on jingoleinsurance.com, which you can find the link to that in the description of this video on YouTube. So feel free, head on over there. Of course, read up on that, check out a little bit more about us. And as always, I do encourage you, any questions, concerns, comments, anything related to insurance, email me, joey@jingoleinsurance.com. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I am Joey Jingola with Jingola Insurance Agency. Take it easy, everyone.